had 75 years of NBA ball. It's never happened, and so I have no reason to believe or expect that it will ever happen. Wow. The NBA has been around for 28 years, 30 years. Right? It's 30 sample, 70. 70. Go back to the basically started and bam. Basically, it's World War II. No teams come back with BFFs. I don't believe it will ever happen.
Well, hello, NBA fans. Welcome to Just My Opinion. Big J here from Plainfield, Illinois. Talk a little bit about my favorite topic, the NBA playoffs. Had some pretty good games last night. Hope you guys got to see them. Well, if you're an NBA fan, I'm sure you did see the game, but we had the Celtics and the Bucks. And Memphis and Golden State. These are pretty good games. The Celtics came back after losing game one. Game one, it looked like people were starting to really doubt the Celtics. And even I considered that maybe I had underestimated the Bucks. But I think I had indicated that the Celtics, after beating the Nets, had a little layoff and maybe they were a little rusty. But anyway, they came back from that first game defeat and really played well. Tatum and Jaylen Brown both improved, had great games, and they defense was good. Let me see what the box score looked like. Milwaukee, Antetokounmpo scored 28 points. Portis 13. Jrue Holiday 19 points. They got 13 points off the bench from Pat Connaughton. And Akupo, although he scored 28, but he was only 11 for 27. About 40%. So apparently Boston figured out something defensively in order to handle Antetokounmpo. So although, as I stated the other day, that Antetokounmpo has really improved his game, and I still think that's the case. But Boston figured some things out. So we'll see what happens in the next game. But that series is now tied 1-1. And let me see, the first two games they played in Boston, so they'll go to Milwaukee. So we'll see. But I expect that to be a good series. Final score was 109 Boston, 86 Bucks. Series tied 1-1. Grant Williams was one of the key defensive players for Boston. Played defense against Giannis and was very effective. So if they can keep that up, Bucks may be in trouble. Only time will tell. You know, that's the thing about the playoffs. Teams make adjustments. And we'll see what happens. Now, the other game was, and boy, this was a good one. The Grizzlies playing Golden State. Grizzlies won that game 106-101. Looking at the box score, Curry had 27, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He shot 11 for 25, 44%. That's a little, below standards in terms of efficiency. Second leading scorer was Jordan Poole, scored 20 points, got 8 for 16. Wiggins had 16. Klay Thompson only had 12 points. See, how did he shoot? 5 for 19. Wow. So with Curry shooting 11 for 25, Klay Thompson shooting 5 for 19, Wiggins shot 6 for 16. Wow. So surprised that would be that close, if you really think about it. Now, looking at Memphis, and a golden boy, Ja Morant, 47 points, but shot 15 for 31, so he shot less than 50%, but still, it's fairly decent, 48%, 15 for 31, shot 5 for 12 from 3-point, 12 for 13 free throws, and only had 2 turnovers. Wow, that's good. Now here's the kicker. He scored 47, but Desmond Bane only scored 5 points. He's one of their, let me see, he played 32 minutes, 6 rebounds, let me see, shot 2 for 7. So he's going to have to do better than that. So in terms of, you think Golden State being able to play better, yeah. Klay Thompson could shoot better. Stephen Curry could shoot better, but on the Memphis side, they could have got more out of Desmond Bane. Jaren Jackson scored only 12 points. And then they had off the bench, Brandon Clark, 10 points. Williams, 14 points. So, but the man was Ja Morant, scoring 47, who basically took over the fourth quarter. I think he scored something like 18 points. That's basically why they won. Came through in the clutch. Now, of course, we got to talk about the flagrant 2 foul from Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks was actually ejected early in the game for a flagrant 2 foul, and wants to take a look at this, and I'm going to give you my opinion of this. sit there. You can see Dylan's arm. I guess they're calling this a wind-up. Now, bottom line is, I think it was a flagrant 2 foul. Flagrant 2 is enough to get you thrown out of the game, but this is what I guess they call a wind-up. You see Dylan's arm is back here. But the reality is, this is a case where Dylan is trying to slap the ball. You see the ball here? Here's his arm. He's trying to slap. Now let me activate. And of course, he misses the ball and hits Gary Payton on the head. Now, granted, Gary is in the air at the time. Look at that. Now, I was listening to Skip Bayless this morning, and he said he just brushed his head. No, this is not a brushing. This is a clear arm hit on the guy's head. Granted, he's trying to hit the ball. You can see that. He misses the ball, but he hits the head. And, of course, knocks him down. Gary Payton has a very awkward landing, lands on his arm, and his arm is like a stiff arm, didn't bend or anything, so he ends up breaking his elbow, I guess. But let me tell you one reason for this kind of a thing. And you're not going to hear this anyplace else. They talk about these codes and these unwritten rules in the NBA, but there's this what I call is a silly code, and it's called the no layup rule. You know, these players are taught to do anything to keep a guy from getting a layup. Foul him, grab him. And so that's ingrained in these players. And see, that's one of the problems. This silly notion that you can't give a layup. If the guy beats you, scores a layup, so what? It's only 2 points, and I know games can get close. But you don't want to risk a person's, life or injure a person, ruin their career, just over 2 points. It's not worth it. These are dangerous plays. They always talk about in the 80s, it was much more physical. Yeah, it was much more physical in the old days, but they were playing with fire. They were risking players' health by allowing them to play like that. So you can't tell me that we would be better off if we went back to the 80s rules where the play was a lot more physical, a lot more dangerous. No, the game is better off the way it's being officiated now, because it's not worth players getting injured like that. So, but him trying to prevent a layup, swipe, you should not be hitting a guy when he's in the air. Those are very, very dangerous plays. Guy gets the basket layup, big deal. Let them have it. If somebody's in the air, you have to think. You have to be under control. Say, no, I better not swipe at that, because the chance of me getting it are slim, and I don't want to knock a person, because once they leave their feet, they're in the air, they could get very seriously injured. So it's really not worth it. So it's really not worth that kind of injury. Now, I want to go back to a similar flagrant 2. Remember that Drayon got, and I think that was in game 1. So let's look at that, and I'll give you my opinion on what that looked like. Let me see if I can find that. Show you. Just bear with me. We're gonna okay. Let's take a look at the Draymond flagrant. Now you see Draymond is here. He's coming in. He's here. Here's Clark right here. Draymond's here. So he's going in for a layup. Here he swipes at the ball. He's trying to, again, prevent a layup with this so-called no layup rule. At all costs, don't let the guy get a layup. So he swipes, and I think he probably hits Clark in the head. But here is what I really have a problem with. You see Draymond's hand, and he grabs his shirt. Grabs his shirt. Now, what's that all about? Why are you grabbing his shirt? Now, that's part of that no layup mentality. Oh, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I have to grab his shirt, pull him down to the ground, whatever to stop 2 points, a layup. Silly. But I don't know how they're going to get that out of players' minds. I think it's too late, because they've accepted that as an acceptable way to play basketball, is to not allow layups and to foul, putting people in danger to avoid a layup. And it's pretty sad. But like I said, he's pulling it down. Look. Watch it again. Look at that. Of course, Draymond goes crazy. That was unnecessary. And look at that again. Here and grabs his shirt. That's what you get when you have this in your mind, no layup. So to me, that's players' mentality. That's what they're taught. That's an NBA problem. Until they change that, we're going to have incidents, like that. So I think that this was this should have been a flagrant, although this was not as dangerous as the Dylan Brooks flagrant, but it was still dangerous. It wasn't as dangerous because Clark was not up in the air, or at least not high up in the air, and he wasn't like pushed while he was in the air. So this was not as dangerous, although it was still dangerous. See? So that's not being pushed out of the air, which is what the other one was. So I think the Dylan Brooks was probably more dangerous, but both of them were still, I think, flagrant fouls. And the whole idea behind calling those or throwing people is to really deter, players from using those kind of tactics, and maybe that'll save someone from serious injury. That's the whole purpose of that, and I think it makes sense. So that's my opinion on the old flagrant 2 foul situation. Got let me see what's coming up tonight. We should have the 76ers playing the Heat and Dallas playing the Suns. Let me see if that's, Dallas and the Suns, 76ers. Miami leads that series 1-0, so, and the Suns are 1-0, so this is really the game 2 in each of those series. Now I'm thinking if there's any of these series that could result in a sweep, it's going to be the 76ers and the Miami Heat. Because I don't think the Sixers can compete, especially without Embiid. And you heard about the controversy with DeAndre Jordan starting, and people criticizing Doc Rivers for starting him. But to watch him play, it is definitely way past his prime. Just the most remarkable thing is how fast some players' ability can disappear. I mean, I think he's only like 33 years old. But you can tell he has lost speed, jumping ability, I mean, running. But putting him on that floor, we'll see what he does tonight. Maybe something will happen. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. The times I've watched him play, even when he was with the Nets and when he's with the Lakers, he just not seemed to have anything left. Always a step slow, and just didn't have anything left. Tobias Harris had a good game and won, but can he continue? Can he keep that up? Playoff is all about consistency. Will he be able to keep that up? We don't know. Maxey, can he come back? And of course, James Harden. Poor James Harden. It really looks like he's just doesn't have the ability anymore. He's trying, but it's just remarkable. It doesn't seem like he has it. He can't move as fast. He doesn't seem to be able to get by anyone like he used to. And of course, the refs are not calling the same kind of fouls they used to. And he's not shooting the ball very well. And what's interesting is Harden has always had trouble in the playoffs anyway for some reason. But unless he has a superstar game, 76ers going to be done. They go down 2-0. We know it's a wrap. Even if Embiid comes back, he's not going to be 100%. Now, the Mavericks and the Suns, game number 2. We all saw Luka score 45 points or so. Had a dominant first game, but his supporting cast did not come through. Brunson, those guys. But see, this is one thing, like people comparing Luka to Chris Paul. Chris Paul doesn't score as much, but Luka has a very high usage rate on his team. I think the game he scored the 45 points, he shot over 30 times. So a lot of his teammates didn't really get shots. And they talk about how he's able to hit the open man. That's true. But sometimes he's getting the ball to him with maybe 5 seconds left in the shot clock, and they got to rush a shot and end up missing. So Luka is very ball dominant, and there's some question if championship team can win with a player that ball dominant. Kind of like Harden when he was with Houston. is totally ball dominant. And, you know, in the playoffs where teams can focus in on your strengths and weaknesses, you know, they can deal with a ball dominant player. You know, that's how Boston is dealing with Giannis. You know, they figure it out. They have time to figure it out. At 4 games to figure it out. So Luka continues to be that ball dominant. It's doubtful that they can prevail in this particular series. Now, you know, the Suns, Devin Booker didn't have a particularly good shooting night in the first game, so we don't expect him to shoot like that. He's going to be much better in this game too. So this might even be a blowout. So I'm really looking forward. I thought after the game 1, the way Luka played, that they might have gave them a chance, but he was that ball dominant, scored that much, and they still lost. I don't know what's really going to change for them. But, you know, we'll see. But for tonight, 76ers, Miami Heat, 6:30 p.m. They're playing on TNT. Then at 9 o'clock, Mavericks against the Suns on TNT. So that's my opinion. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll talk about it. Right? Take care.